Queen Elizabeth, 1952, was once top head of state, head of the Commonwealth and Supreme Governor of the Church of England in 1952. She served as the longest-serving British monarch for over 70 years, presiding over chronic alternate each inside the royal family, Great Britain and the Commonwealth. Elizabeth was once the eldest baby of Prince Albert, the Duke of York, later George V, and his spouse Elizabeth, later recognized as the Queen Mother. Her father Prince Albert used to be 2D in line to the throne till his elder brother Edward VIII abdicated in 1936, pushing the shy Prince Albert into a surprising position of king. King George VI rose to the project although he died early in 1952. Elizabeth was once skilled at home, alongside with her sister Princess Margaret. During the Second World War, they have been evacuated to Balmoral and later Windsor Castle. Towards the quit of the struggle in 1945, Elizabeth joined the Women's Royal Auxiliary Territorial Service, the place she served as a driver and mechanic. After the war, she increasingly more stepped into her function of performing public provider and made her first distant places day trip to South Africa in 1947. Shortly earlier than her 21st birthday, she said, "I declare earlier than you all that my complete life, whether or not it be lengthy or short, shall be committed to your provider and the provider of our amazing imperial household to which we all belong." Philip Queen. In 1947, she married Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark in a ceremony at Westminster. They had acknowledged every difference for a number of years. Some have been hostile to the union due to the fact of his overseas ties, however this was once overcome by means of his provider in the Royal Navy. They have been fortunately married for over 70 years, and their relationship is a supply of mutual strength, even if Prince Philip has a popularity for letting slip the strange vibrant observation about foreigners. Elizabeth gave delivery to their first infant in 1948, the future Prince Charles. They had 4 youth in total: Charles, Anne, Andrew, Edward, Elizabeth. In 1952, her father George VI passed away and Queen Elizabeth used to be top queen with considerable enthusiasm. Her coronation set TV data around the globe, and it regarded to usher in a new technology for the monarchy and British Commonwealth. News of Edmund Hillary attaining the top of Mount Everest was once delayed to coincide with her coronation. It regarded a symbolic stop to the post-war austerity. The 1950s should be viewed as the golden age for the Queen. Deference and Queen Elizabeth respect to the royal household had been nonetheless high, and the younger Elizabeth regarded like the fairy tale princess. However, over the subsequent few decades, good-sized social exchange noticed a decline in common attitudes to the monarchy. Also, the new generation of TV and severe media scrutiny led to many destructive headlines as her adolescence had been caught up in marital issues and associated scandals. Yet, there have been nonetheless excessive factors for the royal family, such as her silver jubilee in 1977 and the wedding ceremony of Prince Charles and Lady Diana in 1981. By the 1990s, the media had a massive fascination with Princess Diana. However, as their marriage broke down, the Queen was once more and more perceived as being out of touch. In 1992, she famously declared the year to be her Annus Horribilis. The year noticed media headlines dominated by using the marriage breakup of Charles and Diana, a fireplace in Windsor, and different criticisms of the royal family. 1992 is now not a year on which I shall seem again with undiluted pleasure. In the phrases of one of my extra sympathetic correspondents, it has become out to be an Annus Horribilis. Christmas address, 1992. In 1996, Princess Diana died in an auto crash, and quickly there used to be public dismay as the Queen seemed far off and refused to fly the flag at half-mast. But after the Queen later expressed admiration for Princess Diana, the hostility evaporated. Nevertheless, the relationship between Princess Diana and the Queen was once great. Described as being cool, Elizabeth the Queen positioned extraordinary emphasis on her job of uniting the Commonwealth, a hard job in the post-war length as decolonization led to many differing problems. However, the Queen commonly obtained full-size acclaim, and many commented she was once an actual unifying presence at the Commonwealth meetings. In a speech at the United Nations in 2010, she spoke of the significance of nations working together. In tomorrow's world we ought to all work collectively, as difficult as ever, if we're honestly to be united nations. After the difficulties of the 1990s, the 2000s noticed a resurgence in her recognition, as the royal family put many difficulties at the back of them, and they had been capable to have fun. Proper news. If 1992 was once her annus horribilis, 2012 was once possibly her annus mirabilis. Firstly, in April, Prince William married Kate Middleton to substantial public enthusiasm. Then in summer, her Golden Jubilee was once broadly celebrated and famous no matter the moist weather. Finally, in July 2012, she took phase in the opening ceremony of the London Olympics, which was once a massive international success. During her time as head of state, Queen Elizabeth has sought decorous from interfering in political problems and furnish a moderating an impact on the nation. We are a moderate, pragmatic people, extra at ease with exercise than theory. The 30th of April 2002, she is a dedicated Christian and regularly mentions her spiritual beliefs in her Christmas addresses. However, in her function as head of the Church of England, she has cited that she is dedicated to defending the rights of all special faiths. The idea of our hooked-up church is on occasion misunderstood and, I believe, typically underappreciated. Its function is now not to shield Anglicanism to the exclusion of different religions. Instead, the Church has a responsibility to defend the free exercise of all faiths in this country. During a speech at Lambeth Palace, the 15th of February 2012. Despite passing 90 years, she remained in surprisingly top fitness and persisted to serve. Elizabeth II exceeded away on 8 September 2022, inflicting an outpouring of love and suitable needs for her special reign and lifestyles of obligation and service. Her funeral at Westminster Abbey on the 19th of September attracted heads of kingdom from round the world. It was once the first country funeral, considering Winston Churchill and large crowds got here to see her last ride to Windsor Castle, the place she was once buried subsequent to her husband Prince Philip.